Hi, this is Orah Moore, and I'm the artist photographer for the work that you will be seeing in this video. Throughout the video, I'm going to read some notes that I made on the pieces that were in a show at River Arts in 2025. The work comes from a 2024 tour called Journeys with Soul that my husband and I went on in southern England. I took photographs of all the sites and then had the opportunity to show 5 of them at Studio Place Arts in Barrie for their 24th Rock Solid exhibit. Right after that, this solo show at River Arts emerged. The subject matter was large ruins, large rocks, so I felt it was appropriate to print the photographs large as well. Well, welcome to Rocks and Ruins. It's so nice that everybody came. I love seeing all the folks that came by here.
So we're gonna have a conversation with Orah about the exhibit. So please make yourselves comfortable. Orah Moore is the photographer.
I never even thought about getting a show here, and so this is pretty exciting to have it here. I've gone to many other openings, and it's a beautiful space.
Thank you. So, and I'm Nan Carl Beauregard, and I'm on the gallery committee here at River Arts. And how things have evolved for you to get to this particular show? Because this is different from some of the things you've done.
Actually, I think this show is a full circle show for me.
Okay.
Because I started out as entirely a black and white photographer in the darkroom days. No digital. Probably a very important influence in my life was that I took a workshop with Ansel Adams up at Yosemite National Park. Way back in, 1977. So he was a big influence in me for a couple of reasons I just want to say for a minute about him. He had an amazing love of his work. He had an enthusiasm, and it just came through every pore of him, and I thought, wow, this is really cool. And not only that, he was a family man, and I thought, wow, you can be a family man. And here's proof right here. My son and my grandchildren and his wife.
Nice to see you.
Just again, he was both a commercial photographer and an art photographer. So those things all came with me throughout the rest of my life. Oh, I'd like to tell you something about that one. Later, look at it up close.
That's a very cool one.
Do you see how right here it looks like there's almost the form? So this shadow is just the fact that it's part of the rock and the way the sun was at the time, but I see it as a presence.
I like that. So tell us about your camera that you use.
Love to. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's over here being used. Okay, so I have a cell phone. It's a iPhone 16 Pro. So I also did bring a Leica digital, and I know this one was shot on a Leica, and I know this one was shot on that phone, the cell phone.
The cell phone did that one.
It is my favorite. You know what? Later, after we're done talking, I would love it if you came up to me and told me which ones were your favorites, because it's interesting to see how other people respond to which ones. Okay. You ready? After the opening at River Arts, I met friends at the gallery. From here out, all the excerpts of those visits are juxtaposed with each photograph in the show along with my commentary I wrote to accompany the 20 images. So you and I are both, Mike, this is just a test to sort of see, I'm here with Mark. And he's
1, 2, 3, testing.
Gone upstairs and take a look. This is the first piece. Stonehenge Revisited. Stonehenge was given to the Crown by Cecil Chubb in 1918. Today it's conserved and run by the English Heritage. This is the only image in this show that I removed a few people using Photoshop. But just consider, there were 30 people wandering all through the stones. I liked waiting for the scene to naturally clear of people.
Now you had something like this at Spa, right?
Yes, it was very similar, but not that piece. You'll see it upstairs.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Very
go.
good.
Carrie, I was just telling you about how this picture, and you can go in and point things out, about how this picture, I did a little bit of retouching on it, and one of the things was the angle of the light coming from the top right down. What do you think?
Picked the right direction, Orah, because it's called an uphill mood line. There are things called mood lines in graphics, and they help a designer subliminally create a feeling. Thing. So what you've done, plus it's just, boom, right on the rocks. It's great.
Interesting.
You did a great thing there. Plus I like the way that the text is.
You like the graphics?
Yeah, I like the way the text.
This photo was taken at the end of our hour's time, and it stood out clearly. Glastonbury Abbey ruins have a lot of mystical and religious history. According to legend, King Arthur is buried there. What seems a travesty of history is that King Henry VIII began a campaign to arrest the abbots and dissemble or burn all the monasteries in England. It is, however, a beautiful ruin. One can see part of the majesty and grandness of the building. Caroline, thanks for coming to look at my exhibit. I'm curious, after you've looked at every one, I see you looked at them closely and read all the notes that I'd written. Is there anyone here that speaks to you, or a couple, and why?
Yes, this one is the one that stuck with me the most. I just really enjoy the way that the line of stairs draws your eye to the tour in the back, and you can really see, like you said in your note, that it was really windy that day, and I can kind of feel like I'm up there, and I was imagining what might be around it and what other pretty views.
This landscape is at the rim of a large land basin that, as legend has it, was the site of Cadbury Castle of Camelite fame. There are no ruins, no foundation, no evidence beyond the simple pile of stones, but being there, walking the land and feeling its largeness was indeed magical. All the while we were there, storms threatened. Dark clouds traveled at great speed past us, making the landscape alive. The Rollright boulder and the Rollright stones, straddling Oxford and Warwickshire in the Cotswolds, was one of the first stone circles we visited. Shown here is the King's Men stone circle. It is 108 feet in diameter, currently composed of 77 stones. It was constructed during the late Neolithic or early Bronze Age.
Inside the West Kennet Long Barrow. The Long Barrow is presumed to have been constructed in the Neolithic period around 3700 BC. It is a chambered tomb running along the top of a field, but at one end are many up-ended rocks, and behind the largest one there is an entrance to the now empty chamber. We were told nowadays small groups come here to chant and drum and pay respect to the history of the site. Our guides indeed brought drums. As our eyes adjusted to the minimal light, we participated in a song and sound of drumming. The acoustics were sublime. An added bonus was that Michael had visited the Barrows 15 years earlier, had placed a heart-shaped stone up high on one of the chambers, and his fingers sought the place and found the same stone. He showed me and then placed it back in its resting place. That's really cool.
Wow, that is awesome.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
15 years, amazing.
Yeah. I thought, wow, that
I love
really
it.
made
And
that
it was
special
hard.
to me. Looking through, here we are back to Stonehenge. Many images in this show are from Stonehenge. It is a place that spoke to me in 1978 when I first visited it, and still does today. In this photo, you can see two sarsen stones with a lintel piece on top. Stone 56 is seen at the back through the two sarsens.
I actually think that the person in this picture adds an incredible element of scale, but once again, a sense of something bigger than all of us. By having her in, and I know she just was there, but by having her there and looking outward, it really does make you think about the larger things in life. And I don't mean stones, I mean the whole spirituality of this spot. Then if we move just to the right, once again, you are at the right place at the right time, which must be very intentional, Orah. But the way the sun is peeking behind the stones is amazing to me.
Okay, this art piece is historical inclusion. In 1978, I made a trip to England on my own as a young woman. This is Orah talking. I had a rail pass and my twin lens camera, kind of a bulky camera for a backpacker around the country. More amazing to me in each roll of film was for just 12 images. The stone is from Vermont, not Stonehenge. I made this piece for a show at the Helen Day Art Center.
Fallen sarsen stone, Stonehenge. These huge stones are called sarsens, and they're accompanied by smaller blue stones, which weigh around 4 tons each. Neither are local to the area, with the sarsens coming from a quarry 20 miles away and the blue stones a mass of 180 miles away. Stonehenge is thought to have been built 5,000 years ago, making it older than the pyramids of Egypt. Archaeologists think that construction started around 3000 BCE during the late Neolithic age. It took a whole 1,300 years to build.
No sheep. At the top of this upright sarsen stone is a bump called a tenon. Now a crow rests on the tenon, but it is the place a lintel rock with matching mortise hole would set on top, making a strong joint. Why crows? It is said that crows have been there for centuries, and it gives credence to their being the guardians of the sacred stone sites.
Among ancient stones, this image at Stonehenge speaks to the smallness of persons and the largeness of what this stone represents. It feels very much to me like this woman, named Lila, is humbled in the face of the immensity and centuries-old stone history before her. I know her to be a woman of integrity, so it has an added dimension of reverence. And perhaps no need to know how these rocks came to be in this place.
Avebury stones with red kite and crows. Avebury Village is a small village in Wiltshire, England, completely surrounded by a large and irregular stone circle. It was built and altered between 2850 BC to 2200 BC from the Neolithic period. The thought is that it was a ceremonial space. This photo, I was drawn to the bird presence. There was one red kite and 2 crows. The red kite generally represents freedom, vision, and transformation. The crows, in the indigenous culture, were viewed as messengers between the living and the dead. Avebury sheep.
What I like about this one is, again, the boulder, boulders everywhere. I had not known about Avebury until...
It's not Avebury, it's Avebury.
Oh, I mispronounced it. And it's on video.
We'll cut it out.
Avebury. Yes, another section of Avebury is fenced off for the sheep. Visitors are welcome to walk among them. I observed how the sheep loved being the shadow of the great rocks of the field.
Wandering in Avebury Field.
Michael amongst the sheep, and I know the tradition of you can walk anywhere, just close the gate so the sheep don't get out.
Site of Old Sarum Castle. Old Sarum was considered an Iron Age hill fort. around 400 BC. It was suggested that it was an ideal army base in the early stages of the Norman conquest. Only remnants of the stone walls and stairs that go nowhere remain. The mystery of Stonehenge.
So yeah, so many of these pictures speak to me. The one we just looked at behind the door here, the Stonehenge in the mist, was it's stunning because it has that, as you said, mystery. It's a great show, Orah. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, my pleasure.
This is my friend Judy.
Hey.
We've had a lot of adventures together.
Yeah, we have.
Well, I'm curious what you as the artist get out of doing exhibitions like this, because you show your work a lot.
I just have discovered that I love to create art.
You just discovered that? You just discovered that, really?
No, probably back in about 1977, because that's how long I've been doing things.
Yeah. And you in particular find new ways to invent. You work in series, as a lot of artists do, but some don't. And because you have a lot of work pertaining to a particular aspect of your life and or your work, you tend to show them in multiple places in multiple ways, and somehow you manage to keep it fresh.
I do think that a lot of artists would agree with me and say, you just got to create. It's just what's inside of me.
You getting the opportunity to see your work in a larger sense, in 360 in a gallery, is A, and having that experience yourself, and B, being other people seeing it. Which of those do you feel is more meaningful to you when you're doing an exhibition?
Like I said, I put my effort into the work. So doing the work and making it come out like as I see from my vision is probably the most important.
Okay.
I have a certain rule of excellence. And
do tell. Tell us about the Moore rule of excellence.
Stop. I want it to look professional. I guess that's the way I'd say it.
Yeah.
Because I spend a lot of time making the work and very little time promoting the work. This is the first show that I've actually contacted many friends and said, if you'd like to go see the show, I'd love to accompany you. Okay. Now, part of it is maybe because I'd like to make a video of it, because I'm now into videography or filmmaking. But
you're using this show to create other shows.
Interestingly enough about this show, the subject matter being about rocks and ruins, is the subject matter itself is rather timeless. And so I feel like this particular show, and I could add to it from other pieces that I haven't shown here yet, the subject matter is timeless. So I feel like even if I show this 3 years from now, 5 years from now, it will still be timeless.